So Halloween was just a few days ago, and that means that people's pantries are packed with snacks, and admittedly, most of those are not exactly naturopath friendly. But hey, I'm a festive guy, and I'm not trying to suck the fun out of the season. But I figured I would take this opportunity to rank some of the most popular snacks on the market today, including some of the internet's most sensationalized food items like Lunchables and Feastables. But first, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Dr. Emile, and I am a naturopathic doctor on a mission to show the world that healthy doesn't have to be hard. It's snack time, baby. Let's get into it. Starting with S tier, these are snacks that I think that you can enjoy every single day. Whether it's to complement a healthy meal or just to kind of tie you over until the next one, these are snacks you don't even have to give a second thought about. Next is A tier. These snacks also pack a healthy punch, but I think that they're best enjoyed intermittently. That means a couple times a week, up to 3, that's gonna land you in A tier. B tier is gonna be your weekend treat. These are the things that I'm not gonna make too much noise about, but maybe we should be starting to set a few boundaries around these kinds of foods. C tier are obviously unhealthy foods, but we wanna try to still have a little bit of fun in our lives. Hey, listen, I'm all about balance and I'm not gonna take the fun away, but we have to be real. The rules are the rules and the facts are the facts. And finally, F tier. These are the foods that quite honestly should not be in your diet at all. You might be shocked to see some of these foods on this list, but I'm pulling out all the stops in this video and I am not holding back. Okay, enough blabbering, let's get into it. Starting off strong with one of my favorites, beef jerky. Beef jerky's been making a bit of a comeback, especially in the fitness industry, because it packs a really big protein punch per square unit of that food. Just 1 ounce of beef jerky is about 80 calories, but it contains 10 grams of protein. That's a huge return on protein for the amount of calories. The problem is it's 520 milligrams of sodium for that 1 ounce of food. It's pretty damn salty. Because of that, I think beef jerky is gonna land itself in the B tier. Great option to fill in your protein gaps, but I think that there are better options out there to carry you through the week. Next up, we've got Pop-Tarts. The fact that this was such a common breakfast for kids in the 90s is quite honestly disturbing once you start to learn a little bit about what is in a Pop-Tart. Beautiful packaging, but all you have to do is flip the box around to realize that it's filled with artificial colors, flavors, sugar, high fructose corn syrup, and inflammatory oil. Pop-Tarts are not a breakfast food, they are a dessert at best. And even then, no thank you. Pop-Tarts, it's earning its place on the F tier of our list today. Sorry, Pop-Tarts, but not really. Next up on the list, we have a few different kinds of cereals. And the reason why I put a couple different kinds of cereals on this list is because when it comes to cereal, the answer is it depends. That's because there are so many different kinds of cereals on the market with different nutritional profiles. Obviously, a high fiber, low sugar cereal is not going to be comparable to a sugary, colorful kids cereal. With that in mind, we're gonna throw All Bran by Kellogg's over in the B category, but Trix is gonna find its way all the way down. Because I'm not an absolute monster, I'm not gonna throw Trix in the F tier. You get away this time. C tier it is. Up next on our list is a movie fan's favorite, popcorn. Truth be told, if you pop your own kernels in a high quality oil like avocado oil or coconut oil, popcorn can actually be a pretty healthy snack. It has a pretty decent fiber profile, and hey, there's even some micronutrients in there as well. What I generally tell people when it comes to popcorn is to stay away from microwave popcorn. Microwave popcorn is known to have added chemicals and preservatives that have been shown to be carcinogenic if consumed in high quantities. Carcinogenic means it causes cancer. So just avoid the drama completely. Pop your own popcorn in avocado oil or coconut oil. I'm gonna give popcorn A tier. Up next, we have the internet's favorite lunch product, Lunchables. I made an entire opinion piece about this product on my channel, and if you have not seen that video, I'm linking it down below in the description. But in short, this product has been marketed as a healthier alternative to the ever popular Lunchables that we all enjoyed as kids back in the 90s. So before we rank Lunchly, let's rank Lunchables. The truth is, when you break down Lunchables, you'll notice that all of these foods are generally ultra-processed ingredients that are really high in sodium and saturated fats, low in fiber and protein, and simply do not substitute for a wholesome, healthy lunch. I'm gonna give it C tier. Now, like I said, Lunchly has been marketed as a healthier option, but dig a little deeper and you will realize that that is simply not the case. Whether you're gonna eat Lunchables or you're gonna eat Lunchly, it's still ultra-processed food that should really be enjoyed as seldom as possible. My problem with Lunchly is in its marketing. We should not be telling kids that this is a healthy option. If you want to learn more about that, check out my other video. You're gonna land yourself in C tier as well. The internet has some hot items on the market today, and I'm gonna be talking about Mr. Beast's Feastables a little bit later in the video, so stick around. Let's talk about another wholesome, healthy option, good old-fashioned cheese and crackers. I put this here because this is one of the options that is available in both Lunchables and Lunchly. But if you design that platter yourself, you have the power to choose your cracker and to choose your cheese. All of a sudden, cheese and crackers jump almost all the way to the top of the list. Maybe add some apple slices, some carrots, and some celery. Oh, but some people don't eat like that. So with that in mind, we're gonna throw cheese and crackers as A tier. There you go. This tier list is coming together, people. Up next is a college dorm staple, and it's called Hot Pockets. I used to go to my cousin's house, and these used to be in the oven all the time. I couldn't wait to unpack my Hot Pockets. But then I got a little older, and I started to read my ingredients. Guys, it's bad. It's pretty bad. Just like many ultra-processed foods, on a per-calorie basis, it's very high in sodium and saturated fats compared to its low fiber and low protein count. Personally, it's a no for me as far as Hot Pockets are concerned, but if we're gonna put it in that category of fun foods that you wanna enjoy once in a while, I'm gonna give you a little bit more grace, and we're gonna throw Hot Pockets in C tier. Coming up next is one that I think I'm probably gonna get a little bit of hate for, but I'm gonna stand behind this one. Because we're gonna be talking about good old-fashioned French fries. Now, who doesn't love French fries? I certainly love French fries, but I can't hold back, I gotta spit the facts. Deep-fried foods like French fries are some of the most unhealthy foods on the planet today. They are extremely inflammatory to our bodies and to our guts, and they are the culprits behind many chronic diseases that we see in our society today. French fries are landing themselves in the F tier. Next up is a nostalgic favorite of mine, and that is Jamaican Patties. Yeah, man! Growing up in the Caribbean, I honestly thought that this was a healthy snack, but I was so disappointed to learn how some of the mass-produced versions of this food are made. It's not even necessarily the meat filling that's the problem, but rather the problem is oftentimes in the dough itself. A lot of companies that mass-produce these patties use vegetable oils and shortening in order to get the flakiness of that crust. These veggie oils are quite inflammatory and are best to not be consumed at all, to be honest. I would be disowned by my friends back home if I put this food in F tier, so I think it's going to be spared and land itself in the fun foods once in a while C tier. Here we go, Jamaican Patties. All right, friends, let's talk about chocolate. Now, I love chocolate, but let me be the first one to tell you that milk chocolate just ain't it. One of the giants in the industry for decades on decades has been Hershey's. But take a closer look into their ingredients and find that it's filled with sugar and milk fats and emulsifiers. Talk about taking a good thing and just making it super unhealthy. I'm being really lenient with you guys today, and because of that, I think I'm gonna be taking the Hershey's chocolate and putting it in C tier with the rest of the fun foods. But then along comes Mr. Beast with a promise of creating a healthier chocolate bar to take the place of Hershey's. But I scoured the corners of the internet to try to find how his product Feastables could possibly be classified as a healthier option to Hershey's. And the truth is, just like Lunchly, it's not healthier at all. I gotta give it to him, maybe he was able to take out some of the emulsifying agents, but it's still just milk fats, sugars, and chocolate. I have a big problem when people don't just call something as it is. And because of that, it's gonna land itself right next to Hershey's on the C tier list. Sorry, Feastables, you're not gonna get me with your marketing scheme. So now that we've talked about a few of YouTube's biggest products to hit the market, there is one more that we have not mentioned yet, and that is Ryan Trahan's Joyride healthy candy. Stick around for a little bit longer because we're gonna see how that product compares to Mr. Beast Feastables and Logan Paul's Lunchly. But if you want to talk about healthy chocolate, we gotta mention dark chocolate. The real chocolate, the true chocolate. When it comes to dark chocolate, 85% or higher is what we should be aiming for. Dark chocolate is actually packed with antioxidants, flavonols, and polyphenols. It even contains a compound called theobroma, which has been shown to support cardiovascular health. Be cautious with how much you have, but I think that 2 to 3 squares is perfectly fine. Arguably even good for you if you have it over 85%. Because of that, we're gonna put dark chocolate in the A tier. Here we go. Boom. Up next, we have nature's dessert. I'm talking about dates. These little guys are loaded with vitamins, minerals, nutrients, fiber. The list just keeps going. They're so sweet, they're so delicious, and they're so good for you. Dates easily take the first spot on the S tier list for me. Now they are still high in sugar, it's well balanced by its fiber, but just like everything else, manage the amount that you're having. 2 to 4 dates a day are perfectly fine and enjoy them after a meal. Up next, we have a breakfast accessory, peanut butter. Who doesn't love a little smear of peanut butter on their toast in the morning? Peanut butter and other nut butters are a great way to add healthy fats into your diet. But beware, not all nut butters are created equally. When buying peanut butter at the store, make sure to flip the bottle around and read the ingredients to make sure that it only says 100% roasted peanuts. That's because some lower end brands will fill their peanut butter with sugar and hydrogenated oils for shelf stability and flavor. And that's a quick way to get it from the top of the list all the way down to the bottom. So don't fall for the marketing, read your labels, kids. Peanut butter is gonna find its way close to the top of the list in A tier. Up next, we've got potato chips, the working man's kryptonite. I have a ton of patients who tell me that part of their routine is to come home from a tough day's work, have dinner with the family, and then into the pantry they go where they start rummaging for the potato chips. Now, most of the time, potato chips are just thinly sliced potatoes, deep fried and put into a sealed vacuum bag. But the problem isn't with the ingredients sometimes, it's with the way that it's made. You'll remember earlier we talked about my problem with French fries being the fact that they are deep fried in hydrogenated oils. This makes it extremely inflammatory and downstream can cause a whole host of health issues if consumed too much. Because of that, I'm gonna be cutthroat. This is my personal line in the sand, and I'm gonna put commercial potato chips in F tier. Up next in the chip category, we've got nacho chips. Nacho chips are made of corn instead of potatoes and have a couple of things going for it that potato chips don't have. That is the fact that they're generally a little less salty, so sodium content isn't quite as high. And because they're made of corn, their glycemic index is a little bit lower. This means it's not necessarily gonna spike your blood sugar as intensely as potato chips might. So if we're using deep fried as a means of determining where things fall into the F list or not, unfortunately, corn chips are gonna have to fall there too. Up next, we've got Cheetos. No question, right off the bat, this is going in my F tier list. Inflammatory oils, fake colors, fake flavors. What food in nature looks like a Cheeto? Without question, Cheetos are finding themselves right here on the F tier. Taking a look at this F tier so far of where we're at, I'm actually starting to feel a little bad about where I put these nacho chips, because if I'm throwing them next to Cheetos, that means that I'm saying that they're more or less the same level of bad. I'm gonna throw nacho chips back up to C tier because I would much rather that you snacked on probably the healthier option of the chip compared to something like a Lay's potato chip or, God forbid, a Cheeto. So you've been spared, nacho chips. Up to C tier you go. Up next, we've got our little green bean friends, edamame. Edamame pack a huge protein punch for very few calories. 17 grams of protein and 8 grams of fiber in just 1 cup. This is an awesome snack. It's gonna jump right up to A tier. We're not gonna waste any time. Edamame, here you go. Coming in next is Greek yogurt, a staple in the fitness and bodybuilding world. That's because 3/4 of a cup of Greek yogurt will yield you 17 grams of protein. Throw in some berries, some nuts, and some honey, you've got yourself a really tasty, well-rounded snack. A tier for Greek yogurt. Up next, we've got granola bars. Specifically here, we're gonna be talking about the Kind bar. There are so many granola bars out on the market today. Some of them are actually really healthy, and some of them are really unhealthy. They're just kind of candy bars disguised as healthy food. In my opinion, I think the Kind bar kind of falls somewhere in the middle. They have a decent amount of fiber, and you're getting some healthy fats from the nut content, but there are also a few inflammatory oils that have been used in the manufacturing process for Kind bars. Overall, I think it is the lesser of many evils out on the market today, and because of that, it's gonna find itself on the B tier. Up next is good old-fashioned mixed nuts. We love ourselves a whole food snack option. These are some of the healthiest snacks available. We're talking protein, healthy fats, omega-3s, fiber, roasted and salted lightly. I'm not too worried about that. Just make sure that you are managing your portion and staying hydrated. Mixed nuts is gonna earn itself a spot on the A tier. Coming up next is dehydrated fruit. This is a bit of a polarizing one because at the end of the day, it is technically still a fruit. But dehydrated fruit is known to deliver high concentration of sugar to its consumers. Think about it. You won't sit there and eat 5 apricots, but you will easily polish off 10 dried apricots. Same amount of sugar without the water to make you feel fuller. So make sure that you're managing your serving size when enjoying dehydrated fruit. And because of that, it's gonna find itself on the B tier. Coming out the gates with one of the world's most popular candies, Sour Patch Kids. Regardless of your stance, these are exactly the kinds of candies that we don't wanna see more of on the market. Artificial colors, artificial flavors, modified corn syrup. There's nothing in this that is good for our kids. But fortunately, we've got some other great options on the market that have actually come up with solutions to bridge that gap. YouTube's Ryan Trahan has come out with his product Joyride, which is significantly lower in sugar and even contains some fiber. This is reminiscent of one of Canada's most popular healthy candies called Smart Sweets, created by Tara Bosch out in Vancouver. Natural colors, natural flavors, low sugar content, and even some fiber. These candies are going to rank much higher than the traditional Sour Patch Kids and other things in that category. Sorry, Sour Patch Kids, you're hanging out down on the F tier. But Joyride and Smart Sweets, you're going up to B tier. We're gonna finish off strong with 2 of my favorite snacks. Good old-fashioned fruits and veggies. You know you've had enough internet for the day when you start to scroll on Health Talk and see some gurus telling you that veggies are out to kill you and fruits are not good for you either. There's absolutely no doubt about it. Some of the healthiest foods and healthiest snacks out there are fruits and veggies. We've always heard eat the rainbow, and there's a good reason for that. Tons of vitamins, minerals, nutrients, bioflavonols and polyphenols, antioxidants, the list goes on and on. Oh, did I mention the fiber? Big fiber guy over here. Fruits and veggies are gonna land themselves on the S tier. And if I do say so myself, this is looking like a pretty good list to me. I'm wondering, do I want to shift anything around? No, I think I'm going to keep it as is. Do you agree with my list? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. If you learned something today, make sure to give this video a like and maybe consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video.